it's a roaster today. I think it's the hottest day of the year actually, 33, 34 degrees. So I'm sitting in the shade to do this. There's a nice little breeze under here, but out there it's red hot. I'm actually on the Church Lake in Essex. First time I've been on here for a while, but it's really nice to be back here. It's a cracking lake, it really is. Some lovely fish, and yeah, despite the heat, I had a little bit of action. I'll tell you more about that at the end. But yeah, talking of the heat, I still remember the summer of '76, which a lot of people have been talking about. Yeah, it was a good summer, I remember it well. I was only young then, and people will be remembering this summer for years to come. Funny enough, the lakes seem to be faring better this year, whether the water table's higher before all this hot spell has come to us, I don't know, but yeah, the lakes for some reason seem to be faring a lot better than what they did all them years ago. So yeah, happy days, plenty of fishing for us. But yeah, a lot of people actually ask me, if I still fish in England. Of course, I do loads of trips away all the time, and I love that. I love the adventure of travelling away and fishing big foreign waters, meeting new friends. But there's not enough time in the year to do everything, unfortunately. So something has to give, and I don't tend to do as much English fishing as I have done in the past, but I still like to do it. And yeah, I do video some of it sometimes, but it's not enough to make a whole blog out of. So what I've sort of done this time is yeah, try to piece together a few little bits and pieces of those trips, and some of the other stuff where I never had enough material to make a whole blog, if you like. So yeah, there's a little bit of English stuff in there. There's a nice trip to Germany actually, where I caught some really special fish, and I didn't intend doing much filming, so I didn't get a lot done, but I got the fish on film, which I'll show you soon, because they are absolute stunners. But yeah, the UK stuff, I suppose it started in the spring of this year, up at Acton Burnell, and every year I do like a guiding session with Paul Meehan, and it's either a week or it's 2 weeks. This year it's just 1 week, and we hire out the whole of the complex, have people up for either 2.5 days or for the full week in a lot of cases, and we have a great time up there. We really do. There's always plenty of good fish caught, nice people, we have a good laugh. But luckily, I managed to get the rods out myself in that time. We let everyone else choose their swims, have a draw for swims, and then we take what's left. So, it's obviously not an ideal situation for me, but I'm not really there for my own fishing. It's the other guys that it's more important for them, but of course I like to get the rods out myself. Once everyone had chosen their swim, there was a guy who went in the island swim and then decided to move out across to the other side because his mate was across there. Knowing the island's a good one, I jumped straight into that. So yeah, I had a good swim. Got plenty of options in there, and thinking about the fish I've caught there in the past, I've caught them out to the right in open water, down in front really, but really the dam wall, the out-of-bounds part of the dam wall is always going to be the best bit, and out-of-bounds baits are always the best bit. And so yeah, I had plenty to go at really. Bait wise, you're going to see a common sort of theme to this all the way through, that everything sort of seems to revolve around Scopex squid, because that's what I've been using all the time, but there's a lot of different versions in amongst that Scopex squid range. So and as it turned out, it wasn't planned, but as it turned out, I used quite a few different sort of items in that range through the sessions. So it's interesting to see. When I look back through it, I thought, I used cultured here and pop-ups there and snowmans, the extra hard-ons in Germany. Back to Acton, and I was in the swim and looking out to the dam wall. First thing I saw was a fish show, and there's certain areas on that lake where they always seem to show, particularly along the dam wall. There's one tree, one bush in the middle, and it's where the old sluice is, the old outlet, and everyone who goes in that swim fishes that spot. And what I did notice was that although there was some showing on the dam wall, that where it goes down to the slope into the deepest water, there was more showing on that sort of area at the bottom of the slope rather than close in. It's always tempting to try and get as close in as you can under the bush, under the dam wall. It's what everyone tries to do. It's what I've done in the past. But to hedge my bets a little bit, what I did was put one by the bush and one further out at the bottom of the slope, in the deepest water on the lake, you know. And in spring I would expect them to be in the shallows, but there we go, you never know. You've got to fish where your instincts tell you to go, and where the fish are telling you to go. If they're showing on an area, you know, it'd be silly not to put a bait there really. So that's what I did. Yeah, so anyway, next morning about 4 o'clock, I was just woken up by Paul, who was fishing across in what they call a wheelbarrow swim. God, I just heard a great big fish jump behind me there. That sounded nice. Anyway, back to the story. A swan went through Paul Meehan's line and I heard his alarm. It woke me up. And just as I was sort of coming to and looking out, one of mine shot off, and it was the rod that was at the bottom of the slope. But there we go, first one of the session, a little scope squid bottom bait. Saw fish showing yesterday and put one out to them, and just rattled off this morning with this one on the end. 24-12, so well happy with that. Not an easy lake, so always good to get one. And so yeah, I was off the mark. I was really happy about that. Every evening, every morning while I was sitting in the swim, around to my left, there's like an overhanging canopy of trees, and I could hear fish showing in there. Now the problem with that is that to the outside of that canopy is the area that you fish to from the wheelbarrow where Paul Meehan was. But about midweek, it just so happened that Paul was opening a new shop, and had to go off and organise a few bits and pieces for that. So he left, you know, which was a shame. So, you know, I was enjoying Paul's company, but at the same time I thought to myself, now I can get a rod in under this canopy. And literally I put one down there, and 20 minutes it was off. You know, the fish thought they were safe under there because Paul couldn't reach them. 20 minutes it was off, and it was a lovely long sort of chestnut colour common again. God, did it scrap, real good scrap. And yeah, it was great. You know, I now had another area to go at. The first fish, I was just fishing a single 20mm bottom bait straight out of the bag on the rig, with the claw, size 6 claw on a coated hook length. Just simple basic bottom bait rig. For the fish under the canopy, what I did was just put a cultured, they're basically a wafter bait, the cultured scopex squids, and just a few pellets around it. You know, I wanted a bit of attraction, but only one bait there, just to get the bite. No, it's only an underarm flick, under the branches, a few little pellets, sat back, and again, it was only about 20 minutes while off it went, and another lovely common. So there we go, third one of the week, another common as well, which is unusual. Whew, saw it show just round the corner, put a bait on its head, and half hour later off it went. You know, they're all lovely fish up there, and really enjoyed my time. I always do up there. You know, they're a cracking bunch of lads every year. Love doing it with Paul, and yeah, love nicking a fish or two along the way if I can do it, and on this occasion it worked out quite well. So yeah, happy days. I look forward to doing that again next year. But yeah, moving on to Germany actually, and we'd been in Poland. So when we went on to Germany, we went to stop off at our really good friends Mike and Simone and Beat Puka. Yeah, we always have a good time, but the great thing is Mike always seems to find us a lovely water to go and fish. You know, sure enough, yeah, he found us this lovely club lake that you'd joined this year. And you know, Mike showed us to the swims, and we began to set everything up. So, a new adventure. We've stopped off in Germany for a few days, just getting all the gear out of the van. The Titan's up, ready to go, and the lake is there. That is beautiful. It's a lovely German club lake, but we've been granted a temporary permit on here for a few days, and so we're going to have a go. Just going to get the rods out. It looks absolutely lovely. No one else here, just us. There's Mike down there getting everything set up. One of my best friends. Brilliant. There we go. Work to do, but good times. There was two particular spots. There was one that was very close in, just to my right actually. You could underarm flick it, but we had boats, so I prefer to use a boat to place everything precisely. And people say, oh, you know, don't you ever cast? Well, only when I need to, actually. If I can use a boat, then, you know, placement is so much more precise and so much better. So, yeah, I love using a boat to put baits out. So that's what I did, even though it was close. And the other spot was on the other side, which was what turned out to be the main banker spot on the lake, really. There's a fallen tree in the lake, and the fish are just drawn to it like magnets, like they always are. And so that was two spots. Yeah, so there we go. So we're all set up. It's a warm day like this, really. We're sitting under the trees in the shade. Got to evening time. Mike was going to do dinner. He's a brilliant cook, Mike. So he was going to do us a nice meal. All of a sudden, one of the alarms has gone off. And, well, have a look. This is what was on the end. Wow, what a cracking start. Only got the rods out, I suppose, an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours. It dropped one right in the margins, just round to the right there. And Mike had said it was a good spot. Sure enough. Whew, I'm out of breath, but it's just gone off, and what a lovely fish. Lovely old German warrior. 36.5 pound. God, proper old warrior, this one. There you go, single scope X squid, 20 mil. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, and of course, would you believe, literally just holding the fish up for the pictures, and another alarm sounded, and it was a bit of a panic because I knew it was the one that I was fishing locked up to that fallen tree, and I had to get to it quick, so jumped on the rod, and Mike and Joan were there, and they looked after the other fish okay. So I was out doing battle again. There's the fish. Oh yeah, the fish is right in the middle of it all. I can see it. Well, that was a bit of a mad panic. Just photographing the last one, which was 36.5, and it's okay, he has gone safely back now, but the other take was this one, which is 38 pound. What a lovely old German mirror this is. God, absolutely gorgeous old fish. From the far bank snag, which Mike put me onto. He said it'd do me a bite. Sure enough, didn't take long, did it? Didn't think it was this big as it goes, but it got weeded. Had to go in the boat, but wow, what a fish. What a first evening. Well happy. Now what he had told me about the lake, Mike, was there is quite a few crayfish in there, and I noticed there's quite a few little roach as well, little shoals of sort of small roach, but they're bait nibblers basically. You know, it'd be all right for a few hours, but overnight, softer baits, they could be gone in the morning. So he did advise to try and use harder baits if possible. So that was where the hard-ons came in, a tub of those 20mm hard-ons. So I made up a snowman with the 20mm bottom bait and the usual little 15mm pop-up on top, scopic squid pellet, scopic squid flake, and of course the freebies as well. So I was putting out a fair bit of each around the spots. Spots themselves were quite small on each area, but I was putting a fair bit out there. Through the night I caught a catfish, quite a biggish one, there's a few in there. I didn't photograph it, I put that back. But in the morning I thought, no, I'm just going to redo all the rods. You know, I was awake quite early and I thought, just make sure they're all alright. So, and sure enough the hook baits were alright. I took them back out to the spots, refreshed the bait, and it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. Again, the snag tree rod on the far side, that's gone off. And pulled in this fish and I thought, I mean, you know, it's heavy, it must be weeded up. That's what I thought. I thought, oh, it's weeded up. So, yeah, get in the boat, gone out in the boat, and as I've got closer to it, I could see the line moving. I thought, it's not weeded up, this is just all fish, basically. I couldn't see it, and I didn't see it for ages, but I knew it was a good one. I knew it was a good one. And yeah, sure enough, when it did surface, I thought, that is one of the big ones, that is, for sure. I couldn't remember from the pictures, you know, which was which, but I just knew it was a good one. And it must have thought 20 minutes out in the boat, it was dragging me around everywhere, and I thought, well, just take your time, be patient, and eventually it'll all turn out right, which it did. Got the fish, went back to the bank, and Mike had been watching all this, and he came over and said, let me have a look. So he looked in the net, looked at the tail, he went, yeah, that's king of the lake. Sure enough, biggest fish in the lake, biggest fish in the lake. First day on now, and yeah, sometimes I do get lucky. And there we go, king of the lake was in my net. Would you believe it? We sat here talking about the fish that are in here, orange tail, nana, the big common, and especially king of the lake. There's 2, maybe 350s in here, I'm not sure, but the big one is king of the lake. Oh, and it's sat here, right now. Right. And it felt like a big chunk right from the start. I went out in the boat because I thought it was weeded. It wasn't weeded at all, it was just a great big lump of a carp on the end. 55 pound 12 ounce, biggest fish in the lake, and I'm well chuffed with that. The sort of days passed by, days were actually better than the nights on there. I caught most fish during days, which is great, that suited me perfectly. And caught some absolute crackers on there. There was one common that was 36. It was just a wood carving, absolutely gorgeous thing it was. But you know, there was lots of nice ones. I caught a few small ones, there's some stockies in there, and caught a couple of those. But yeah, for the last night, my Nash teammate, Mark Vosen, he was due to come down. He's a friend of Mike's as well. So he came down, so it was only fair really that I passed the spot onto him, the hot spot. And so yeah, give it to Mark, and I think he had 3 fish off it, no monsters, but it was still working the spot. And I moved mine, I found a little bar out in open water. Had another nice common that night, just over 30. So we all had fish, we all caught loads of fish. And yeah, we had a fantastic time. Like I say, you know, we always enjoy our trips over to see Mike and Simone. And so yeah, happy days, you know, it's really good times with them. And this had just been another one of those. And so back to England, and yeah, we've got this fantastic hot summer, the hottest summer for years, probably, well, the hottest summer since that 1976. And you know, what I hadn't done for a while, you know, okay, I hadn't done as much English fishing as I'd like to do anyway. What I really missed out on was floater fishing. You know, it's just nice to get over there when I get a chance, when there's a few days spare at home, just to nip over and do a bit. It's not always long sessions, you know. What I did this year in particular was just nipping over with a couple of rods, or most of the time just one rod, one floater rod, bit of gear, just spending a couple of hours over there. No more than probably 3 hours, that was the longest I was there. And sure enough, I went round, first of all, went round to the out of bounds area on the lake, because if they're going to eat anywhere, it's going to be there as always. Threw a few mixers, and these fish were like, oh, it's like my pond at home. You know, I can throw food in, they're whoosh, they're there, like little piranhas. And these were the same, you know, they were on it straight away. So, okay, I couldn't fish from there, but, you know, it was a confidence booster. I knew if I'd find a few fish out in the open somewhere, they were going to have it. And so I had a wander around, and I ended up in bottom bay of the lake. And there's one little bar down in this bay, and it's got weed on it this year. It doesn't always have weed, but this year it has got weed on it. And as I got there, I could just see these fish, and put out a few mixers, let them drift down onto this weed. Sure enough, there they were straight away. So happy days, yeah. Got my rod sorted and got fishing. Yeah, got a few feeding on the top there, still some taking mixers out there. But yeah, my first go on the top this year, and I'm into one anyway. Got to land it yet, but decent little mirror. They were quite spooky. It took a while to actually get a take. They come up and mouthed it a few times, but that is the frustrating thing with floater fishing, but it went in the end. Here we go, got one. So, there we go. Lovely little Mayfield's mirror, well pleased with that. First one this year off the top. Lovely. Well, back on the floaters, and they're all around it. Oh, is he going to have that? No. That was my bait. I couldn't help but strike at that one. I don't think he had it though. Still there though, still having it. Oh, makes such a big splosh, but it doesn't actually seem to spook them. Bit short that lot. Don't mind them if they come closer though. Frustrating. The trouble is there's a guy already been in there today and had a couple, so they're going to be spooky. I do think there's a chance of getting one though. Yes! Wow. cracker. I mean, it was a funny fight actually, sort of slapping about and flapping about, but a torpedo collar, nice 20 pounder. Right, we'll just have a quick little look through what I'm doing. Here's a scopex squid pop up on the hook on a little floater claw. They are lovely and light actually for floater fishing, and the weight of the hook does seem to make a difference when they're coming up and mouthing it. A heavy hook seems to make the hook bait act a bit strange to them, so yeah, floater claws are excellent. Anyway, just a little one. 10 pound hook length, well 10 pound main line and 10 pound hook length, and I've got the, well it's about a 6 foot hook length, and I've got the small controller on the bolt machine. I've been using the medium one quite a lot, but this is actually quite a small area, so the small one actually suits it better, just for flicking it out on the edge of the branches just across the bay here. So there we go, that's it. All simple stuff as always, but you know, that's what always works. Hooked one straight away, but it has gone through the thick bit of the weed. Seems to be moving now. Yeah, there we go. Let's see him. Yeah, nice one. Whew. Oh, he's got the weed over his eyes. I wonder if I can sneak him in before he realises. Nah, he's woken up now, he's got the weed off his face. Nice fish actually. There was only one fish here taking a few bits. 2 or 3 others sort of moved off. But he come up and just had it straight away. If that bit of weed can go over his face again, might help. Yes, got him. Lovely stuff. Whew, blimey. That was all a bit quick and hit. Oh, that's a nice fish. I thought I'd nip over earlier today. The sun's only just come out actually. It's been a foggy, sort of misty morning, but sun's up now, it's getting warm. This was the only fish having them at the moment. But he took the hook bait straight away. There you go, I reckon he's 23, 24. Happy days. But with floater fishing, it's almost the excitement of getting the bite that overrides everything. I suppose when you do it enough, you try and pick out certain fish, bigger fish. But for me, you know, I just wanted to get bites, that was it. You know, seeing those fish, those lips come up around the mixer and take it, didn't really matter what size they were, as long as it happened. It can be incredibly frustrating sometimes, fishing for any fish on the surface. But when it's going well, it's got to be one of the best methods of fishing out there. It's so exciting. And yeah, all those feelings, all that excitement really come flooding back. Every single bite give me that same buzz. You know, once you'd hooked them, played them in, it was like playing a fish as normal, but seeing them taking the mixers and getting closer to the hook bait, and then a few little dodgy takes, mistakes, and then you get that one that takes it, and well, it's almost like an electric shot when you actually hook it and think, wow, I'm in. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Absolutely loved it, and it's what it's for. It's what sunshine's for. A bit of floater fishing. So no, it's been really good, really good. Yeah, so that sort of brings us up to date, really. You know, like I say, I'm here on the Church Lake. I've been here 3 nights. I've done now on here, 4 nights, and you know, even though it's absolutely roasting hot, and I thought I'm not going to get much in these conditions, I've ended up with a few fish. I've had 8 bites now, landed 6 fish. Very weedy out there, but there's some crackers out there for sure. My first fish was a lovely common 30-pound 8. I've had a 29.5 mirror, a 27 mirror, and a couple of smaller ones as well, but they're lovely fish in here. It's, yeah, hugely enjoyable fishing, really is. It's a lovely lake, been looked after really well here, and caught some lovely fish. So cool, well, the weather that we've waited weeks for finally arrived in the night. Big storms, and it's brightened up now, but big winds now, big stormy winds. But just had a lovely Church Lake mirror, 27 pound, and a great way to finish what's been a great week on here. It's been lovely to go through some of the stuff that's happened this year and talk about it in Germany and some of my UK stuff. And it's lovely to finish up with a mirror like this on what is a cracking venue. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Take care, won't ya?